Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, dear devotees. We are at Canto 1, chapter number 8. The title of this chapter is Prayers by Queen Kunti. We have covered up to text number 12 and 13. Yeah, we have covered up to verse number 13. Today we were going to start from number 14, but we have few questions as well in the group. A lot of you have messaged me few questions yesterday. We were discussing few things and the time was up. So what is happening in the storyline? Who wants to recap quickly before we begin our today's discussion?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, after the war is over, after the 18th day, like Ashwatthama was kind of, they of course took his hair and everything, jewel.
Mm.
Then afterward, there was three yagyas he performed, Yudhishthir performed in direction
Mm.
of Krishna. Afterward, Krishna was ready to go, and suddenly Uttara is running towards him and saying that save me. And
Mm.
she said that she has got a baby, and that's why she wanted to be saved. So we are discussing. We of course have got questions now, so
Mm.
that's what we are.
Thank you so much. Yes, very good. So we need to always understand what is the scene, learning points, as well as the storyline. They both are important. Story will help us to stay interested and what is happening next. So when Uttara was coming for protection towards Krishna, Krishna knew it's the Brahmastra released by Ashwatthama, pointing at the embryo of Uttara. He wanted to kill the last remaining lineage, the dynasty of Pandavas, and that's why Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport of this particular section that the Brahmastras or the nuclear weapons in olden days were much more advanced compared to today's age. In those days, the Brahmastra can be released with pointing at one particular aim, target. So here, the Brahmastra, the nuclear weapon, was released to target only the embryo of Uttara. While in today's world, if the nuclear weapon is released, it just destroys sometimes the whole area, sometimes the whole city. It doesn't have that capacity to target to at one particular point or one particular person. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, the nuclear weapons in those days were very advanced. What were the questions related to this? Okay, so one of Satish Prabhu sent me the question that wasn't Brahmastra retracted before by Arjuna? And how come this Brahmastra is coming again here by Ashwatthama? So the answer to that question is in two different ways. Acharyas have also explained already that Brahmastra is invoked by mantra shakti. We have discussed that before, by mantra shakti. So when Ashwatthama released Brahmastra first, at that time he was in fear because when he killed 5 sons of Draupadi, Arjuna was trying to capture him and he got fearful and he released Brahmastra. To counteract that, Arjuna also released his Brahmastra and then they both were retracted. So Arjuna retracted his, and because of the counter effect, the other Brahmastra got also retracted. And now this is the second time Ashwatthama releases Brahmastra. Because of Mantra Shakti, he can use multiple times. So another, he released towards the embryo of Uttara, the womb. Parikshit Maharaj was in the womb and he released. So this is the second time. Acharyas have explained this in a couple of different ways. The first one is it is mentioned in Bhagavatam that Brahmastras were retracted. When Arjuna put his and Ashwatthama, it was retracted. Retracted means to go back to the same position, to go back at the same place. So Arjuna's, because of the both Brahmastra colliding, Arjuna's Brahmastra went back to him, Ashwatthama's Brahmastra went back to him. So retracted both of them. Now, Ashwathama didn't know how to withdraw this nuclear weapon, how to call back or how to cancel this. So what he did was, when the Brahmastra was retracted back, he doesn't know how to negate this or how to call back. So he diverted that towards the womb of Uttara. So that was diverted back when it was retracted. The Brahmastra was diverted back to the womb of Uttara for Parikshit Maharaj. So that is one option given by Acharya. Second option is, multiple uses can be done. It's not like one, we had one missile and we released that missile, so the army person ends with no missile in his camp. It's a mantra shakti say, one time it was released, second time also it was released. So there are a couple of different explanations given, but the point remains same, that Ashwathama used Brahmastra twice, once out of fear, while Arjuna was trying to capture. This one to kill, very specific, to kill the embryo of Uttara, who Parikshit Maharaj, the last remaining lineage of Pandavas were there. Okay, Sadish Prabhu, are you there? Yes, I can see you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, yes, I am. Thank you. Thank you so much for the explanation. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Amazing. And the second question, what we discussed was, Krishna took a vow in the battle, in the Kurukshetra war. He took a vow that he will not lift a weapon. And we saw in text number 12 and 13 that Krishna lifts Sudarshan Chakra here to protect his devotees. So, how do you understand that? Krishna takes a vow, Krishna makes a promise, but Krishna breaks a promise as well here. So, how do we understand that? To keep a promise is a moral standard. If the world will know a person that he is such a moral person, whatever he is, pran jaye par vachan na jaye. People say na, that he will keep his words. A man, uh, what is that saying? Is a man is Aruna Mataji, you know?
प्राण जाए पर वचन न जाए.
There is something
रघुकुल रीत
English.
सदा हरि रघुकुल
Yeah.
रीत सदा हरि जाए, प्राण जाए पर वचन न जाए.
Yes. Yeah. So a person, the man who keeps his words, and that is more, that is a moral standard. But Krishna here chose to be known as immoralist, like he is immoral person. But Krishna wanted himself to be known as Bhakta Vatsala. Bhakta Vatsala means he is Achyuta, infallible in protecting his devotees. So Krishna says, I have two options here. That one, the world should know me that I am a moral person and I didn't break my promise and I didn't lift any weapon. The second option is, the world will know that I am infallible, Achyuta, Bhakta Vatsala, that I love my devotees so much and I will never fail to protect them. So, out of decision, choice between a moral person or a Bhakta Vatsala, Krishna chooses here a Bhakta Vatsal or a Achyuta, that he always protects his devotees. So, Krishna is ready to do anything to protect his devotees. Krishna will do anything possible, even break his own promise and break all the norms and standards and morals and everything just to protect his devotees. And this is why here we see Krishna took the Sudarshan Chakra to protect. All right. Next, yesterday we were talking about Sati. Someone mentioned about Sati. I wasn't sure who was speaking, but the Sati Pratha or the ritual of sati is very ancient. We have to understand that in Bhagavatam we are talking about very different civilization. The thoughts, the lifestyle, the people's consciousness, they are at a very different level in the Vedic Sanskriti. Thousands and thousands of years back we are talking here. In those days, the wife and the husbands, they were very chaste. They support each other fully in the spiritual progress. That even if you just go 50 years back, even uh, the marriages were decided by parents. Many times even the husband wouldn't have seen the wife. Only after the marriage, the the wheel is uncovered and the person will see, because until then the parents of both the parties would have decided this person will get married to this, and they just lived without knowing each other, without meeting each other. The parents decide, and only after marriage they see each other, and still they live a happily whole life. But in today's world, people stay together, live in relationship for 5 years, 3 years, 7 years before marriage, and still after marriage they get divorced, and there are problems. Love at first sight, divorce at first fight. We see that it's very common. So very different civilization, very different consciousness. The wife was very chaste. The wife don't go out. Even I remember my childhood days. The girls don't. I come from a very small village in India, in Gujarat. The girls, they don't go out of the house. They don't talk to other males. Even in college days, uh, it was very hard to see that a girl going out just only when there is some tuition classes or something. The girls, I'm talking only 30, 40 years back, even then, and this is thousands of years back. So the wife was very chaste. The wife was fully dependent on husband, and same way husband's spiritual progress is also fully dependent on wife. And husbands were also very spiritual, very strong, moral, uh, having strength. So husband also had good qualities. Nowadays, everything is lost. Nowadays, the situation is very different. If we ask someone that imagine building big empires, big like Tata or Birla or all those people who made the businesses without using internet, without using mobile phones. People used to live 200 years before without electricity. But in today's world, if we ask people that can you live without internet, can you build a successful business without using mobile phones, and can you live without electricity, it's impossible. So what we have to understand from here is what we are discussing here. The Vedic civilization is thousands and thousands of years back, which is very different compared to today's world. And in those civilization, and in those times, Vedic lifestyle, after husband's untimely death or passes away, it was impossible for a wife to even think of surviving, because wife's duty was to serve, stay with husband, love husband, serve husband, and it was impossible. So voluntarily the ladies feel that I have no means to live. Why should I live? Because my husband is gone. And they followed the Sati Pratha, where the husband is burning and they enter the fire. That's how much chastity, austerity, purity were there in those days. Nowadays, the husbands are neither strong, the husbands are neither pure in spirituality. And that's why the wife are also, there is a different level of relationships. In COVID times, there was very high number of divorces. Why? Because generally husband is busy with work, wife is busy with work, and then only on weekends or for a couple of hours in a day they used to meet each other. In during the COVID times, the divorce rate went very high, especially in Victoria, because of the lockdown, husband and wife needed to spend time together in the house, and they found out that they were incompatible. They can't live together. 2 hours in a day is enough. Anything more, it was not possible. And that's why it's very different lifestyle we live in. But eventually what happened was people started forcing this Sati Pratha. That means the father-in-law, mother-in-law, they were forcing the wife. If untimely death happens of an husband, or husband passes away, the in-laws were forcing the wife to enter the fire and follow the Sati Pratha. That's why it went into very bad situation. The government had to be banned whole Sati Pratha, and it was just a diverted version of original pure Sati Pratha. So that's why it has been banned and it's not recommended. Srila Prabhupada explains in the scriptures many times, even in Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, that it was an olden tradition. In today's world, what is more important is husband and wife, all the family members, individually they become strong in bhakti, and they support each other to get attached to Krishna, so that when the time comes when one of the partner is not existing in this world, the other person has the capacity to surrender to Krishna and progress in bhakti. And this is the hardest time, dear devotees. I can tell you that the hardest time, the most difficult situation I can see when इतने साल किसी के साथ रहे हैं हम लोग, और देर विल बी ए टाइम, ऐसा मूवी के जैसा तो नहीं होगा साथ में आएंगे साथ में जाएंगे. देर विल बी ए टाइम व्हेन आवर पार्टनर्स आर नॉट विथ अस, आवर किड्स विल बी ग्रोन अप विद देयर ओन फैमिली, our son will have got married, they have their own kids, daughter will get married, they have their own kids, and they will be busy in their life with the same tuitions and schools and studies and home loans and everything. And there will be a time when our partner is not there with us. It's not that the last breath we will be holding together our hands and go. And at that time, it will be very difficult for us. So we have to become serious now to take shelter of Krishna. We have to understand the importance of becoming serious in bhakti. So in that difficult situation, when the kids are gone away, they are busy in their own life, partner would be going, and we are all alone, we should be able to take shelter of Krishna. We should be able to surrender to Krishna. And that day will come in everyone's life. No one can escape that. So we have to understand, we have to make, Srila Prabhupada writes, today's world, we have to become strong in bhakti. We have to become serious and take shelter of Krishna right now. So when the difficult time comes, we are ready for it. Whoever asked that question, Sudeep Prabhu, you raised hand. Do you have a question? Hare Krishna.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I was talking about the Brahmastra, the
Yeah.
two types of Brahmastras. They were like, one was the destruction, bringing it to the whole human society, and the second one was more precision and surgical, and was pointed at only to destroy the embryo.
Yes.
And I wanted to see if that's the right sort of understanding.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. The first one, it was released out of a fear because Ashwatthama was fearful. Arjuna was trying to capture him. So out of fear, he released the Brahmastra with the grayling effulgence everywhere. While the second one was in a revengeful mood, he wanted specifically the targeted. And why to the embryo? I think someone else also asked the question, what is the significance of embryo? Was it you, Sudeep Prabhu?
No, the significance of embryo was not my question, but I think it has to do with sort of ending the Pandavas' lineage. That was I think, the reason
Yeah.
of pointing at the embryo.
That's right. Yes, yes. So it was very, because he wanted the whole dynasty to be wiped off, same way as the other side, the dynasty was wiped off by Pandavas. So that's why he targeted to embryo. Why specifically embryo? The womb of Uttara is mentioned. Yeah, there are two different reasons. The first one is we have to understand the protection for the soul does not begin when the child gets birth, when the physically baby comes out. The protection of the soul is well before that, while the soul is in the womb. In today's world, the abortion is being allowed by the government, and yeah, im so many not proper practices are followed. But with the Vedic civilization, we see that not at the time of conception when husband and wife come together, even before conception. It is called Garbhadana Samskara. Garbhadana Samskara means at the time of union, mother and father, they chant extra rounds, they make specific prayers to Krishna, and then they unite and they welcome the soul, which is high in spirituality, and then gives parents a chance to raise a child in Krishna consciousness as a Krishna Bhakta. So the protection of the Lord for the soul begins even before conception. Then during the conception, they are praying to the Lord to give us a spiritual child. And in the womb, mother is doing, while the baby is in the womb, mother is doing lot of scriptures, reading mantras, hearing, doing religious or spiritual things, all those things. And then the baby takes birth, and then the actual physical body, the service starts. So there is a protection of the Lord, there is a protection of the soul, it is well beyond the birth. The second reason why embryo is mentioned here is while the baby is in the womb, it is in completely helpless situation. No one from outside can do any help because it's inside the womb of a mother. And in that helpless situation, Lord goes and protects Parikshit Maharaj. So what do we learn from this is even in the most helpless situation when no one can do any damn thing about it, Krishna will go there and protect a person. So Krishna is always there. Achyuta, infallible. We have just seen that how Krishna never fails to protect his devotees, even in an unimaginable, fully helpless situation. So that is what the significance of embryo is. All right. Any other questions were there? Protection, yes, that is coming in the next verse as well. One of the that how do we understand here? Krishna entered the womb of Uttara and protected Parikshit Maharaj. But how do we see? Krishna is not standing in front of us holding Sudarshan Chakra. How do we understand the protection of Krishna? That was the next question. Let's read 14 and 15 together, and then we will try to understand how Krishna's protection. Rohit Prabhu, Simran Mataji nahi hai kya aaj? Friday?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, she has gone to drop Sarvagya Prabhuji. She's just on the way. Yeah.
सर्वज्ञ, आज का वर्ष के बारे में हम सर्वज्ञ के बारे में ही बात करने वाले हैं. Okay, you can read 14 and 15 together.
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, text 14. The Lord of Supreme Mysticism, Sri Krishna, resides within everyone's heart as the Paramatma. As such, just to protect the progeny of the Kuru dynasty, he covered the embryo of Uttara by his personal energy. Text 15. O Shaunaka, although the supreme Brahmastra weapon released by Ashwatthama was irresistible and without check or counteraction, it was neutralized and foiled when confronted by the strength of Vishnu, Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. So here, Krishna knew that Brahmastra is coming towards the womb of Uttara, and Krishna wanted to protect the Parikshit Maharaj, the womb. So that's why when the Brahmastra was in, Krishna confronted it and he neutralized it. In text number 14 and 15, he neutralized because he took the Brahmastra on himself. Krishna is, Brahma Jyoti comes out from Krishna's body, and this Brahmastra is the effulgence. So that's Krishna doesn't need any hard work to protect or counteract or neutralize the effect of Brahmastra. Krishna neutralized it, and that's how he saved Parikshit Maharaj. So let's see, dear devotees, very important that how we can understand protection of Krishna while Krishna may not be standing in front of us. Krishna protects a devotees in many different ways. Here we see Krishna comes personally to protect. To easily understand and remember this protection of Krishna, we have an acronym called PROTECT. PROTECT. We have done this in our Bhakti Vriksha. A lot of devotees, they are not part of our group, so I'm going to repeat that again. Krishna's protection can be understood in multiple ways. And if you remember the acronym PROTECT, protect, then we will understand. The first P stands for Krishna protects a devotee personally, like how here. Personally, Krishna came and protected Parikshit Maharaj. Krishna came personally personal form. Krishna can personally come and protect. The second way Krishna protects devotees is PR. R stands for representative. Krishna sometimes sends his representatives to protect devotees. He may not come personally, but he may send his representative. Just like Lakshagraha, when the Pandavas were sent to that, what do you call that candle thing? Wax.
लाख का बना हुआ प्रभु, लाख
What is the English word? Wax only, no?
I think so, Prabhu. Wax only. I don't know.
Yeah. So there was a palace made of wax, and Duryodhana tried to put and burn all of them. Krishna sent his representative as a Vidura, and then he indicated that just like the mouse, they make a hole and tunnel and goes out. You also can escape by making a tunnel out of that Lakshagraha. So Krishna, and even many times we see Krishna sends his representatives, the hippies and junkies in Americas. Krishna doesn't personally come, but Krishna sent his representative Srila Prabhupada to save all the people of the Western world. So protect. P stands for Krishna will come personally to protect. R stands from Krishna may send his representative for protection. O, P-R-O stands for omnipresent. Krishna can come in a different forms as well. Just like when Draupadi was being disrobed, Krishna came in the form of sari and helped Draupadi. So he didn't come personally and protected, but he came as an omnipresent. Krishna is present everywhere in different forms, and he came in the form of a sari and protected the man of Draupadi, protected the respect of Draupadi. So P-R-O-T. Krishna can protect a devotees by teachings. By teachings, he protected Arjuna by saying Bhagavad Gita, or our teachings in the scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So Krishna can come by his teachings, and with the teachings, the protection of the devotees is guaranteed. So Krishna can come personally, Krishna can send his representative, Krishna is omnipresent, he can come in different forms. Krishna can protect a devotee by teachings, P-R-O-T-E. Next is E. Krishna can empower a person for protection. Krishna can empower. We see how Vyasdev was empowered incarnation. Vyasdev was empowered to compile Srimad Bhagavatam. He was empowered to write all these scriptures. Even Prahlad Maharaj, Krishna. So we see in the movie Narsimha Dev movie, or we see in the story of Hiranyakasipu, how much torture he was giving to Prahlad Maharaj. How much difficulties he was trying to give to Prahlad Maharaj. But Krishna didn't come before in a personal form, but he empowered Prahlad Maharaj to go through that. He empowered Prahlad Maharaj to meditate on his name. And so that even though he was being crushed under the elephant, or thrown in the well of a snake or a crocodile, and demons were piercing him with the weapons, nothing happened to Prahlad Maharaj. So he empowered. Even Srila Prabhupada, Krishna empowered Srila Prabhupada to preach this message. So Krishna's protection can come as an empowerment to the devotees. P-R-O-T-E-C. C stands for combination of above, combination of one or more of all these different things we are seeing in this. Like in case of Arjuna, Krishna gave the teachings as well as Krishna was personally present. So there was a combination of more than one. So Krishna can come as a combination to protect his devotees. And P-R-O-T-E-C-T, last T is time. Time is the biggest healer. When people are going through difficulty, challenging situation, time will heal that. Krishna comes as a time to protect his devotees. Sometimes we feel, oh, this is very difficult. I'm not able to tolerate very hard situation in my life. But Krishna will come as a time to protect that devotee. And after 5 years, everything is, we the things that is troubling us too much will be gone. It will not, we are not be troubled by that. The things that we love so much, we think that we can't live without this thing. We can't live without, this is my life is dependent on this person or this thing. After 5 years, as the time passes by, we don't even remember that. As a child, a person may like some toy, and the child cries a lot if the toy goes missing. But after 5 years, they don't even know where the toy is, and they don't even think about that. So as a time, Krishna will come, the time passes, and Krishna will protect a devotee. So in our life, Krishna may not be personally present, but Krishna's protection is always there in his personal form, as his representative, as his different forms, omnipresent by his teachings, by empowerment, by combinations, and by time. So we are always protected by Krishna. And the second thing, how we understand the protection of Krishna is we all are busy in our life, especially life in Australia with the work, finance, family commitments, home chores, and so many things to do. We are so busy. In spite of our busy life, on top of that, we have so much anarthas, lust, anger, greed, pride, illusion, madness in our mind. We know how much pure our mind is. We know. I don't need to put a meter. I already know how much anarthas are there in my heart and my mind. In spite of all these anarthas, in spite of all these bad qualities in the mind and heart, in spite of all this busy lifestyle on various commitments outside, we are able to do our sadhana. We are able to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We are able to join Srimad Bhagavatam in the morning. And this is the proof, dear devotees, that we are protected by Lord. Krishna is blessing us. Krishna is protecting us. Otherwise, it's very hard. Out of 5 million people in Melbourne or Australian whole population, how many devotees are joining in the morning to read Srimad Bhagavatam? How many can able to do every day chanting, studying scriptures? So this is the proof that we are being protected by Krishna. Otherwise, it's impossible for someone to do on their own. आप किसी को एक बार भी बुला दो मंदिर कि मंदिर आओ, बोले टाइम नहीं है, इतना बिजी लाइफ है. आप बोलो एक माला करो, वो बोलेंगे टाइम नहीं है, इतना बिजी लाइफ चलता है. बट हम कर सकते हैं. क्यों कर सकते हैं? क्योंकि ये भगवान का आशीर्वाद है. दिस इज द प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ द लॉर्ड. So we can experience this protection because we are able to do this. 705, दो वर्सेस ही किया आज तो. Let's do one more at least. Radhika Mataji, 16.
Hare Krishna, everyone. O Brahmanas, do not think this to be specially wonderful in the activities of the mysterious and infallible personality of Godhead. By his own transcendental energy, he maintains and annihilates all material things, although he himself is unborn. Hare Krishna.
Oh, Brahmanas, do not think this to be especially wonderful. Sudha Goswami is saying that Krishna ने ब्रह्मास्त्र अपने ऊपर ले लिया और परीक्षित महाराज को womb के अंदर जाके बचाया. Don't think this is something wonderful. Krishna can do anything. He is Supreme Lord. ऐसा मत सोचो कि ये कैसे हो सकता है, कैसे पॉसिबल है, क्योंकि भगवान कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. Many people don't believe in scriptures. They don't believe in God because all the things mentioned. How can someone lift Govardhan hill? अपनी छोटी उंगली पे पर्वत कैसे उठा सकते हैं? मुझे लगता है कि ये तो सब फेरी टेल्स है, दंत कथा है, माइथोलॉजी है. People think like that because it doesn't fit into their logical head. So if it fits into the logical mind, then only Krishna exists and God exists. If it doesn't fit, everything is fairy tale. The scriptures are false. अपना दिमाग ठिकाने नहीं है, उसका कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. भगवान ही नहीं है. That's what people think. Only if it fits. हाँ, भगवान ने क्रेन लेके थोड़ा छोटा सा बोल्डर उठाया तो मानेंगे कि हाँ वो भगवान है, वो ग्रेट है. लेकिन उंगली पे कैसे उठा सकते हैं? This is all fairy tales. दादा दादी की कहानियां. That's what people think. So why Lord has to fit his pastimes into our logical brain? Actually, the definition of God is his supreme control. He can do any wonderful things. He can do lot things which is beyond. That's why Lord is transcendental. Transcend. To transcend means beyond the three modes, beyond the rules and regulations of this world. So people who do not believe in scriptures or God for because it doesn't fit in their mind, they need to understand from this that we shouldn't be surprised by what Lord can do. He can do all wonderful things because he is Swarat, he is supreme, he is Sarvagya. He can do whatever he wants. He is not bounded like us by the rules and regulations. हम देखते हैं इधर भी कि पुलिस की गाड़ी होती है तो वो रेड लाइट पे स्टॉप नहीं. If police is chasing the criminal, police doesn't have to stand. They are beyond the traffic lights norms. You know? Because they are the government, employed by the government. In the same way, Krishna is beyond all these rules and regulations. He can lift the Govardhan hill, he can play like a ball, he can throw in the sky and catch, and he can put in his pocket. He can do anything. So here, Sudha Goswami is saying, do not think that this is all wonderful. Krishna can do anything. All right, I will stop here. Only 3. But I hope the questions are answered. Any questions left from the list?
Prabhuji, I have one question.
Quickly.
Prabhuji, like when Krishna protected Parikshit Maharaj, but why Krishna didn't protect Draupadi's sons? Is there any reason behind that, Prabhu?
Yes, very good question. Krishna protected Parikshit. Oh, there was one question as well, which is connected with this. Preeti sent that what is the importance of prayers? Krishna knows everything. Then why? It was in the group, or you sent me personally. That why? Oh, sorry, time is up. We have to do it next 7:09. Said, what is the importance of prayers? If Krishna knows everything, then why to pray?